Everybody, we're going to be getting about a minute here. Almost on time today. Let's try this one. I think the first one. I like the first one better. I think more of a pig. All right, let's start this one here. We'll turn off our new cool music.
And let's get to it. Is that the one I want? No, let's use this one. And we'll get rid of this. Boom. And let's turn on the camera. And hold on. There it is. I gotta do that. I don't know what that is. That's the wrong camera. What the heck? Hold on. Yay, we did it. All right. Okay, so we got that. Let's drop this over here. Well, if we're starting early, I'm still 5 minutes late. All right, and let's get rid of, we can start here, I guess. Might as well. SOFI's doing pretty well. We should probably talk about it. Start looking at levels, where you're at, where it can get to. So, I mean, there's your first level that you're going to want to watch, that 894 level. You're really just sitting right on it right now. As far as the earnings, it usually does stuff like this, and I think that you should just be aware of that. Let's get to that. Let's pop this in so you can say what instead of me just saying things. So here's earnings, right? And then what happens? Rallies up, falls apart, right? Rallies up, and then what's it do? Falls apart. Look, it rallied up, and then what did it do? It fell apart. So if you go to, let's just go to a bear chart, B-A-R-E, not just B-E-A-R, for those that are wondering. What does it do after earnings? Rallies up and falls apart. What do you think it's going to do today? Or do you think this time it's different, right? So I didn't look at the quarter unless something miraculous happened that the insiders want to hold the stock. They're going to wind up blowing it out, right? I mean, that's who's selling, right? I mean, look, if you have good quarter and then the next day or 2 days, you start seeing selling, that always is insiders because they can't sell like 30 days before the stock. So that's what you're seeing happening there. So it's definitely something to just kind of pay attention to, but it's certainly something that we're seeing. There we go. That's better. So I don't know. I mean, it's up to you if you want to try and trade it, see if it's going to fill that gap or not. It's not my kind of trade. I get it. I mean, I understand why people are going to be interested in it. I do get it. But it's not something that I'm going to play. I'll be on the other side of the trade. I'm always on the other side of this. I'm always fading it. It's just how the money goes. Pardon the slurping, but it is what it is today. The big one that people are going to trade today, I'm going to get asked about it anyway, but let's just get to it. SMCI is going to be absolutely huge tonight. And this can still have a massive move. Remember, they pre-announced on the 19th, Friday, okay? And so now they pre-announced a week early. That means they had a whole other week to figure out what they're going to do with all the other contracts and everything else that they sold and where their revenues are going to go and where are their projections. It's pretty powerful stuff, guys, when you do things like that. Oh, I have a banner too. Hold on. Let's put the banner in. Let's edit the banner. Bond auctions. You got bond auctions today you're going to want to watch for sure. That's really all you're going to want to watch. I'm not going to get into all the earnings right now. The big ones on the week. I mean, there are some big earnings this week that you guys need to know about. So maybe I should put them in there so that people are aware of them a little bit. You have Amazon this week, you have Meta this week, you have Google this week, you have Apple this week, you have Microsoft this week, SMCIs this week. I mean, I'll just put some of those out there so that you can at least see some of those, and we'll get a little bit better with this thing, get it going. So I definitely would suggest that you watch some of these and look at them. I really would. But overall, SMCI, I would expect this to absolutely crush tonight. Now, how much of that's built in? I don't have an answer to that, but a lot of it might be built in. Depends how much they raise guidance. And then we'll go into tomorrow. The one thing I think is going to be super interesting that I will address, and I want to take a lot of questions today. I want to make sure that I do that, start doing that. But, I would watch the save going into JetBlue tomorrow. It's possible both of these names actually do well. Like both of them actually could do very well. So I would watch both of them. and see how both of them act. Frankly, I think that might be the way to go there. So just keep that in mind. I think that green on that wall, maybe I'll paint that wall black. I don't really like that, how that hue is there. It might look better just being black. What else do I have that I really think is of interest? That's really it. That I think is of interest that you have to watch today. I mean, NVIDIA is obviously going to move today. The CHIPS Act that they're talking about, who benefits? Intel benefits. Intel looks like an absolute nightmare. If I gets up to here, I'd look at adding to the short. But they benefit the CHIP Act. Taiwan Semi benefits the most from the CHIP Act. Taiwan Semi's been on a tear, guys, ever since earnings. Just be aware of that. It really has not come down since earnings. So I think that's very important to get. What else do we have? That's pretty much it that I have that I want to go over. I mean, we could look at the indexes. I don't know how much. Let me squeeze this a little bit. And then if I raise that, does that do something too? Yeah, kind of. I could squeeze that over. And we can get rid of that there. And then let's go to the red list, and we'll talk about what's going on out there. I watched the Bitcoin names today. I think it's interesting that the Bitcoin names are rallying. I will just short coin, but if you wanted to play the long side, you look at Mara and you watch how it's acting. Why are these bidding up so much if Bitcoin's actually already down? That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? I would watch Rumble again today. I think that could have a decent day, but people are really going to try to position themselves. If I went to figure out where does the money go today, I personally think people are going to try to position themselves in the semiconductors going into SMCI because it could be massive. Now this SOXL sold down. Why? KLAC, but the KLAC news is interesting because you have two major companies came out today and raised their target prices. So maybe it didn't do what they thought it was going to do. Lamb crushed, right? But no one cares anymore because KLA missed, which is kind of stupid. ASML beat, and this is what I would do too. Let's say you don't like any of the names I'm looking at because they're too high in price. Look for names that are in semiconductors. This is really important, I guess. Look for names that are in semiconductors that are green, that were green on Friday. They're the ones you want to watch because they basically were just like, oh, I don't care. This was a buying opportunity. And ASML was a buying opportunity. They're going to take earnings up 24, 25, pretty big. I got asked a lot about this. Hold on one second. I think I could, hold on. Yeah, there it is. All right. So you see this right here? Hold on. See this right there, that Arete thing? So that's, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Can you just work with me? So you see that right there? That's how you follow me on here. There's ways that I can share sectors and stuff on here with people. I have no problem sharing things like that. Sector scripts, there's some scripts, no, I'm not going to share. There's some proprietary stuff, no, I'm not sharing. I'm just going to tell you. But there's other stuff that, yeah, I absolutely will. I have a whole list of subsectors and stuff that I'm trying to figure out how to import into here and other indicators. And I have one gentleman that's actually been kind enough that's in the community that's helping me with it. But, just let me know. What does this do? Does that get rid of the drawing panel? Well, who would want to get rid of that? You get rid of that, and then I guess you just use this thing down here. I don't know why you would do that. Why would you? I like this. I'm not doing that. So that's definitely something I'd put on. I'm going to get rid of this. Dark mode's over, guys. I'm sorry. I know it's disappointing, but I've had enough. I've had enough with the clicking over. Mary can't read the things up here. And then I got to clean it back up. I got to move it back it's exhausting. It's over. It's all done. We're not doing that anymore. Let's get some questions and go from there. I'm not going to add a lot of value by going, there's no value I'm going to add. Look where the ES is. It's high. What am I going to show you? ES levels, NQ levels, RTY levels. What's the point? How much value am I adding there today? Not a whole heck of a lot. So I'm not going to waste time on it. TNX, I do think this is interesting. People are like, don't chart yield. Okay, whatever. But you see where it's going here. So I would chart yield. The VIX is up, which is interesting. Dollar's up and TNX is down. Fed week. He's not going to raise rates or cut rates. He's not going to do anything. It just depends on what Itchy says. That's really what everyone's going to have to pay attention to. What does he say? I think he's going to be somewhat dovish, is my personal opinion. But let's get to it. Let's get to some questions today. You know, this is, I'm going to go through only a couple of these, John, because I want to start trying to get to other people too. I would be looking at this. I would be looking at anything brand name that's got like cool labels, that's got high end stuff. Like, I guarantee you, and someone said something in the comments that like, oh, the rich get richer. Listen, it's not the rich that are out there buying Louis Vuitton purses. I'm just telling you that right now. It's not. It's everybody. So it's not just that it's the people that shouldn't really be buying that stuff. Like I'm not going to judge, but like, I guess I did just judge. But like, not everybody should be spending money on crap like that, but they do anyway, right? So it's just the economy. We're in a consumer economy. It's how people get validation and judgment. They want shiny things. Look at the shiny thing, and then they buy it. You're seeing more and more of this. And what we're starting to see really is like Ralph Lauren, Louis Vuitton, those kinds of names. Okay, now go here. You don't really see Kohl's breaking out, right? You kind of see like Ross Stores breaking out. So like you're seeing different names start to move, right? Like here's JWN. Well, why is this moving? Well, it's a high-end store. Okay, it's a high-end store. This is always a lot of fun to trade because the family, even though it's public, the family controls the board and they're always screwing around with it. But you got this dude that just popped in here and he's going to try and take control of the board. I don't think it's going to work for him. I think it's going to have a bad time, quite frankly. But it's interesting to see it. But these are, I would look at stuff like this. I would look at brand names versus the boxes. Like if you go and take a look at something like Walmart, which is doing, trying to rally and gap fill here, or Target, like if you look at the boxes on a relative basis, right, versus the brands, now they're going back to brands, guys. I mean, people are going back to walking into like Ralph Lauren and getting a suit, or going to A&F and buying clothing. I mean, this is something we've been in, and I can always tell when people don't have an issue or aren't in the trade as much in the community because they never ask about it. I mean, we paid $70 for this or something. These names, those kinds of names, you want to look at that. You definitely want to look at that. ELF, like these kinds of names, like this stuff's not going away. And Louis Vuitton, like the comment, the rich are getting richer. I mean, it hasn't been like that for, thousands of years. I don't know why people think it's going to change on a Monday. It's kind of been like that forever, right? I mean, for hundreds of years, you didn't have upward mobility. So I don't know. You think it's going to change today? I don't know how it's going to change, but I don't even want to go down that road. What I want you to think about is like people are buying their goods. If they're going to buy their goods because they want that level of status, these names are going to go higher. And people love this stuff. And I mean, I like some of their stuff too. Like their purple label stuff's like awesome. So I don't know. That's where my head is with it. I like it. I would look at this kind of stuff. Going off on a tangent on the high yield stuff, or the high end stuff, but I like the high end stuff a lot. I own this and Ferrari. I like it a lot. So I like any of those names, any of those brand names. I'd be looking at them. Morning, Steve. CEPUETNUI. I don't know what they do. South America. That's kind of interesting. Ajax. ET. I like that too. I like that a lot. I mean, you're walking into a buzzsaw? I don't know. I don't think so. You got 2 weeks, right? Energy is going to be it. Energy is going to be where it's at. Energy is going to become cool again. Did you miss it? I don't think you missed it. You just have accumulation after accumulation, right? Where do you get to? Well, you can see the line right in the battleground. You're going to have an issue at 15, but after that, I like that. I do. I like that, EJ. And you? Dude, my eyesight today is just god awful. I like that too. See how the volume's picking up? See how light look, and maybe this is one of your interests. See how like you have, like, see where you're at here, and then look at the volume next to the next two bars. I like this idea. This is why I like doing these public ones. You guys find stuff that I'm not even looking at. I'm not crazy about this, but it doesn't matter. And here's what, like, here, seriously, like you rally, and then you pull back, and then you go. I like this too. I like the ET more. What's up, Mayor? Dell, out of all those right now, out of all of those, I think the Taiwan semi is going to see a lot of interest. Taiwan semiconductor, or Taiwan market itself last night, this is not reflective in the stock yet. It was up over 2%. So AMAT I'd be concerned about just because you're going into earnings. And I don't like this when I see this. Closed at the low, closed at the low. Who sells at the end of the day? See, now I got all these little lines everywhere because I went dark mode to make everyone happy. You gotta make yourself happy first, guys. So you see where all this stuff's going on? Like, see how you're closing at the lows? I don't know. I wouldn't be on that. I'd bide my time. I'd buy my time there. I like them, but KLA put the kibosh on it. It really did. You need them to settle. They could settle. They could start settling today, or they could start settling in a couple days, but you need them to settle. I went through my semiconductor capital equipment list. Every single one of them was down. I have like 30 or 40 names on that list. Every single one of them was down there. I mean, we've got a semiconductor analyst that's actually in the room. He was just telling me this like months ago to buy IBM and what it was going to do. I didn't because I was so hyper focused. Dell's one we've been playing with. We've been playing with Dell since back here. I mean, I don't know. It looks fairly good to me. I don't know that you want to be playing that here. You know, I don't know. If you flip the hammer, probably, yeah. I mean, if you flip that hammer, 8504, yeah, you probably do want to be playing that, Mayor. If it can flip a hammer like that. I know it's not a perfect hammer, but it's a hammer nonetheless. Out of all of them, I think Taiwan semi. I don't think we fully grasp the concept of how much money our government is going to throw. U.S. government, I'm in the U.S. I don't think we comprehend how much money the U.S. is going to throw at semiconductor chips. I don't think we grasp it yet. We saw the CHIPS Act. Pelosi's got to get paid. So I would expect, no, in all seriousness, though, I would expect a lot more funding in that space. See, because the issue becomes, like, if you think about it from a geopolitical standpoint, let's say Taiwan gets taken over by China in some format, right? Like, there's a reason why Taiwan Semiconductor is building plants all over the world. I mean, let's just call it what it is. So let's say China, and they come to some kind of agreement, China takes control of Taiwan in some format. Well, they're not going to like be very friendly to the US that's basically restricting access to them of chips. So then Taiwan's going to spread out all over the place, and governments have infinite money. Remember, all governments print money, right? I mean, they do. So I don't know. I think that's pretty interesting. I think that's definitely something for us to think about. And then how is that going to play out? I like Taiwan semi a lot. I really do. The more I think about it, I think it's going to be a slow mover, but I like it a lot. And I like ASML a lot too, Mayor. 436 in the room. Please hit the like button. I don't think, and make sure you get the free newsletter. I'm supposed to drop this link in so that people get the free newsletter. I would start getting the free newsletter again. I've got like people now that are actually helping me make sure it comes out every day and that it's more actionable. So I've got a little group of people that are helping, which is actually nice. Let me get that link. I'll drop that link in. Who's got links? I do. Because one, it's free, and two, I think it's worth your time. Let's go into this. Give me 1 second, guys. There it is. For those that want to join the Alpha Chasers community, there is a waiting list. It's usually link in description. I'm not going to pin the link. The list is, there we go. Pop that in. There it goes. The list is pretty long right now, and I'm going to have to figure out. I'll start sending invites again, probably in like a week. But it's going to take some time. Because I talk to every single person that joins. Well, I give them the opportunity. They're not forced to talk to me. What do you got here? Zim. Yeah, it looks great. Like, why isn't it going to go higher? I mean, come on, guys. We went like, think about it this way. Look at the volume, right? Like the government goes into the US, and I'm not saying that I'm not patriotic. Of course I am. Right. But like, good news. We're here from the government. We're here to help. I mean, have things gotten better or worse since the U.S. is in the Red Sea? Have things gotten better or have they escalated? You know, we only know what they tell us, right? So, I don't know. I don't see how this doesn't go higher, but, you know, and maybe the U.S. does something. I do see the volume dropping. I feel like everybody's starting to pay attention to it. I mean, there's your box, right? There's your box. And if we put the most simplest of indicators in, you know, you bounced off the 22 and you're between the 12 and now you're going to flip. Don't break the 22. If I use a 12, a 22, 55, you should use what you're comfortable with. I don't see how that doesn't go a lot higher. I really don't. See, here's where I'm screwing up, Riesh. Like, I'm still in the wrong mindset that we're not in an earnings driven rally. So I'm not in a hurry to buy, right? And because I haven't seen one of these rallies like this in 20 years. So I'm kind of out of pocket, like with the way I'm trading right now a little bit. And it's always like great to be self-aware of that stuff, right? Like it just note like, hey, what am I doing wrong? Right. I would say that, yeah, I don't see how it cannot go higher. I mean, every piece of research that I read on this company, like I've not found one that's negative on it. Every single piece of research is saying they're going to have to greatly increase 24 and greatly increase 25 estimates. I don't know how you don't go higher. It's the number one name in Europe that they're buying right now, period. If you want to be in European equities, the number one name they're buying is ASML. I don't see how it doesn't go higher over time. But, you know, you can't buy today and then watch SMCI come out. Let's say they miss and then it's down $20 and go, well, I shouldn't have bought it. Like if you're saying accumulate, you got to be thinking you're accumulating over months, right? Like, you know, like Briesh, like you're in the room. So like you've watched what I've done here, right? And how I just keep adding and adding and adding, right? Like I don't care that it went to 80 and it's back down here. Like I don't care. I'll just find a spot, wait for it to reverse and I'll start buying more. I want to own it into earnings. I want to see how it does in the earnings. I'm willing to take that risk, right? And I'm willing to build this. I'm trying to keep it as a very long-term position. So you kind of have to have that mentality. As long as you have that mentality, brother, you're fine. Coin, I'm short. Laurent, I'm probably the wrong person to ask if you're looking to be long. I have no idea why somebody has a Coinbase account. I can't think for the life of me why somebody wants one anymore. I posed the question last night when we did that public video last night that was private, you know, for the makeup call for listening to porn music for a half hour. But I can't figure out for the life of me why you'd want a Coinbase account anymore. I have one, but why do I even need it anymore? Right? Just go buy a Bitcoin ETF. And if I want Bitcoin and I'm going to keep it in cold storage, which I do, why wouldn't I just keep it in cold storage? Like what do I need them for? To go buy an NFT, to go buy a crap coin? You know, like seriously, what do you need them for? I think they have massive issues. And I think their issues were pretty clear. Like there's telltale signs that corporations have issues. When Coinbase comes out and says, hey, we're going to be able to trade those Bitcoin ETFs too. Well, that's like Peloton coming out saying, good news, guys, we're going to go sell apparel now. Right? Go look at Bitcoin or go look at Peloton the day they came out and said, we're going to sell apparel. Stock got destroyed because people knew. Same thing with Bitcoin. Why do I have to go to why do I have to go to Coinbase rather to buy Bitcoin? Look, guys, when when the ETFs came in, when the physicality ETFs came in and all the Bitcoin people cheered, right? It was like the perfect Trojan horse. You guys, like they literally just handed Bitcoin to BlackRock and people don't even get it. They're going to get it when Bitcoin doesn't move anymore, or it moves when BlackRock wants it to move now, right? Because they're going to be able to just whack it around and they can invest in their own ETF. So they can just put infinite money in there to just buy and sell it whenever they want. It's going to be, it's just crazy that how people cheered for this. But anyway, I think it's toast. I do. I don't think Coinbase is around in about 2 to 3 years, unless they figure something else out. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. It's 9 o'clock, guys. Let's get to it. Hi. Peter? Please tell me if I'm pronouncing your name right. No. GTLB. I will do that. GTLB. I'm going to try to get to everybody. Do a lightning round at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I like that. I'm the wrong person to ask about coin. The fact that I'm willing, like, how far can SOFI go? Well, let's look at this realistically, right? I'm ready to throw in the towel and say it's not going anywhere, right? So how far can it go? Well, you're going to have all the naysayers like me that don't think it's a big deal, that now they're profitable, right? Is that their first profitable quarter? If that was their first profitable quarter, you're going to see it pull back, but that might be a shift. I mean, to be candid with you, like I always throw these things under the bus. I'm a little too poo-poo of them, aren't I? Like with this, like PLTR too. But I would say that if that's their first quarter, yeah, it can go a couple of days, because now a whole slew of people that only buy stocks that are profitable will buy that company. So I'd still watch my 894 level. If you get through 894, you can get to 960. Can it push if it becomes a profitable company? Yeah. The guy that runs that company is a beast, man. He's an ex-Goldman guy. He was the CFO of Twitter, fixed Twitter. Noto is no joke. Like, he's no joke. Like, he knows what he's doing. I wasn't aware it was the first profitable quarter. I don't know. I'd still watch my 894 level. I'm still probably going to short it. You're on the right path. You're on the right path there. PBR, yes. Age, like, you're on the right path, dude. You need to buy this if you don't have this. For the way you trade, dude, like, you do what you want. I know I'm just giving it information. I know it's not financial advice. I got to watch how I talk sometimes. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but like, you got to get involved in this if you're not in this, and forget you own it. Go look at what Argentina looked like in the 1920s. I think they're heading back to something like that. And I think when people in Argentina and the surrounding areas start to see how Argentina starts living, I think you're going to see a whole wave down there, man. Remember, you got 40 elections this year. You have the most elections ever in history. Like this year, it's like crazy how many you have. So, thank you for that on Saturday. I spent a lot of time on that video. Those Chiefs can go. You mean, how about them refs? Come on, man. You got the refs on your side. Dude, look good, though. I'm going to root for the Niners. IBM looks great. BA, I don't know, man. Like, every time you turn around, what's happening? You want to be there for that? Every single time you turn around, what's happening? We lost another bolt. We lost another door. This window was loose. People are calling the airlines to make sure they're not on a Boeing flight right now. You want to buy the company, man? IBM looks great, by the way. Very different kind of companies. Texas Instruments was god awful. I think AMD, my personal opinion of AMD is expectations are way too high. I just think that they are. Until they have their SMCI NVIDIA moment, the stock's way too high, man. Like, I don't get it. They're not there, right? And if you can buy NVIDIA, it's pronounced NVIDIA, by the way. If you can buy NVIDIA, then a chip, like why are you buying an AMD chip? Like the people that are buying these chips don't have to worry. They're not cost conscious. Like they don't care. They have infinite money. Did they walk away? They walked away. IRBT. Yeah. So I would watch this. That's probably the end of it. That's probably the bottom on this. If they walked away, that's interesting. But you're at. Look, I just want to walk everybody through this so that you get it. They walked away from the deal. You're going to come to what? 10-year lows on this. There will be a wash here. If I didn't see that news, thank you for saying something about that. Look, there'll be a wash here, man. And then you're going to get people that are going to be like, okay, well, they still do, they're still doing $250,000 a year. Maybe they're going to cut costs now. See, a lot of these companies stop worrying about cutting costs and things like that when they know they're going to be acquired. So if Amazon walked away because the EU is afraid of them controlling your vacuum cleaner, of course, that's the issue, the vacuum cleaner. Whew. Anyway, I would watch that. I'm going to be on my list today to trade. Because they don't want to. Why don't they split? You want the truth? They don't want retail to own them. Ackman does not want retail to own this name. They want to be in control of the name. They know it's a pain for you to buy a $2,200 stock. That's why they don't split. Same reason Berkshire doesn't split. I'm going to have to jump here, guys. Lyft and Rivian, I wouldn't go near. What's up, Tiff? Hope things are well. AMPH. I don't even know what that does, brother. I don't even know how to answer that. I don't know what they do. Only thing I can tell you about this is see that 55? That's where institutional support is. They're telling you institutions went out. What's up, Ian? I can't do it anymore. It's too much. I need Uber to drop. I don't think Uber's going to drop for you like that. AMD, you got to watch. Gush, I would look at. Why are you yelling at people? It's too early to be yelling at people, Tim. ACIC. I mean, you got to just watch the breakout bar, right? There's not much I'm going to add to that. You see the pattern? I'm not really going to add to that, not much there. I don't know why. He's really angry this morning. EWJ. Is that what they pay 9%? I'll tell you where I'm really interested, and I don't like buying these. Go look at the inflows that are going into China right now. Hold on, Jacob. I saw something and I thought of you, like the way that you trade. Let me see if I can find this stuff real quick. And then I'm going to have to jump. But here, dude, look at this. Because like you're always looking at this stuff. Look at the amount of China equities that went through. This is Goldman's Prime Book. I'm going to have to take this off real quick. But that's Goldman's Prime Book. Look at that level. Look at where you're at in 19. Look at where you are. Like they're buying, man. Someone's buying that stuff. I don't know. Here, let me show you this one too. Look at this. See their China. Look, Jacob, right? This is their Prime Book. High or low, right? Someone's buying Chinese equities. All right, it's not me. EWT. Yeah. I don't know anything about the 9% dividend. I would tell you that you're seeing a lot of inflows into Taiwan. Just get rich. It's so much easier than bitching. I know it sounds crazy. Oh, look who made it. You couldn't make it last night, though. Did you watch the football game? Killing me. Killing me, Aunt. Annette. What's up, Charlie? Yeah, there was a really good article this morning I read about software names. I think it's fine. I'd watch the doji up there. I'm going to have to go, guys. What do we got? The free newsletter. Uber. Uber's out there. I know, can't, right? Either that or a knock on the door. You got to love her too. She's been in there so long, she doesn't even think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's going to be interesting. We have, bro, I'm not even going to touch that. Thanks, dude. I actually like talking to the people. It's funny. Yeah, I like some of the China names, but I got to watch. Zim looks great. I'm just going through these super quick, guys. See what I got. Zim, Zim, Zim. People are buying. I'm telling you, people are buying the high-end stuff. Beam. I can't believe you blew me off for the game. Who blows me off to watch the game? I wouldn't touch that. I got to jump, guys. Trade to win today.